Video is going to be a market vlog, and I just wanted to give a quick intro. If you're new here, I'm Crochet with a Shroot. I've just started out this YouTube channel. You can definitely find me on Instagram and Etsy, things like that. And yeah, I can't wait to show you guys how the market went and my setup and everything like that. It is the day of the market and I'm very excited and also sleep deprived, so ignore my eyes. But I'm gonna go and get all set up and hopefully I'll have enough time to shoot a bunch of footage of what the setup and everything looks like. I'm on the way to set up. I do have for this one, I'm kind of off the side, so I'm not sure how well this market is gonna go. I also only have the smaller table as I mentioned, but mainly honestly I kind of just want to keep my inventory for the next two markets that I have. But yeah, really excited. Hopefully I'll set up a little tripod and then show you how I set up my booth. To do a little closer look, scrunchies in a bag. I have a bigger bat and then two smaller bats, a little octave back there and a gummy. These are just all my sparkly darker items, and then a bunch of ghosts in different colors all around. I have some frogs, octaves, and bees, and then a bunch of those little pocket turtles. This is my little keychain stand. I'm gonna add a few more while I'm just waiting, and then here's my little cloud with a frog. I love him. And then I have some birds. I only have 4 birds left, so I just put the 4 that I had. Leggy, Barbies, mallards. And then these are my chickens. I have a bunch of these 10 chickens, then I have some smaller ones in the back. I have Plumpy, furry one, and it's huge. And then I have another one over there. And then I have 2 big mushy boys. I do have smaller mushy boys. I just don't have space to include everything in this. And then these are my pumpkins. Might want to display the white one a bit more. And then I have this really little cute cow back there, and then these are all my bigger items. Okay, so it's after the market. I want to talk about the plushies that I made during the market, because usually while I'm sitting there, I'll just be crocheting. And it's a great way to show people that you're making the plushies by hand. And a bunch of people were asking me, a bunch of kids especially, are oh my god, how do you make this? And then I can show them what I'm currently working on. So the first thing that I made were these candy corns, because I wanted candy corns for the market I have coming up. This one wasn't so much of a Halloween theme, but the next one is. So I made kind of a larger size, and then I made a bunch of little babies. I honestly think I have a ton more. I just couldn't find all of them right now. So those were kind of fun and quick to wrap up. I did my own pattern. I am considering posting a free pattern for this, so I'll see if there's interest for that.
And then I wanted to make a bunch of smaller pumpkins because I had like my more like legit pumpkins. So I made a couple of tiny little pumpkins, and I think these turned out so cute. And no one asked me for the price for these, but people were like pointing them out, and I do think in my next market they might like sell well. I think I definitely wanted to mention is that it's really important to price a lot of your items. Like I did notice that for the things that I didn't have priced, like people are kind of hesitant to like keep asking for the price for things. So yeah, definitely need to like price everything for my next market. So I think like even these babies, you know, if I price them at the price they're gonna be, which is like, this is probably like $1, I feel like people would be like more inclined to like pick them up. But yeah, I thought they were really cute. And then, last one. And then I really wanted to have axolotls, but I didn't have the yarn that I needed to make them. So I didn't end up making it, but I realized I did have the yarn to make an orange one. So I made a little orange axolotl, and I think she's like really cute actually. I originally, for my first market, had pink, blue, and purple, and those did really well. So I wanted to make more. I think I'll just do the whole rainbow theme for my next market if I have time. But yeah, she's really cute. I love her. Yeah. So those are all the things that I made while I was just sitting there. Okay, so yeah, these are all the items that I made like during the market. Okay, so it's after the market. I wanted to come on and talk about the market itself. I did get hopefully a good amount of footage of what my setup looked like and things like that. I did only get like so many clips like during the market, but luckily like a couple of my customers were really nice, and I was like asking if I could take a picture of them just like holding the items like without their face, but they were like, no, like include my face, like I would love to be part of the content. So that was really fun. I got so many cute videos of my customers with my items, and I think this was like one of the best parts of like selling in person. And then just to maybe talk about the market in general, I definitely have some tips and things that I learned. I think the first thing is it's so important to pick your location well. And I think in this specific market, like they had different areas that you could be in, and they were differently priced based on how much foot traffic there was. And I did end up applying to the cheapest option, also because the other ones were already filled up. But I do wish now, looking back, that I picked one of the more expensive options if I could have, just because there was way more foot traffic on those roads. And when I was wandering around, it was like maybe like 10% of those people were coming into the area that I was in. So that was definitely like a really good learning experience for me. Maybe just to give you a sense, like there was kind of like one really big main road that was like more expensive as a booth fee, and then there was a road off of that that was like second tier, and then there was a road off of that second road, which is the road that I was on, so kind of like the third tier in terms of pricing, and I would say third tier in terms of like the amount of people walking there as well. So I definitely think that was a thing. And then second of all, in comparison to the market that I'd done before, I thought people at this one were less there to purchase things. They were more just like, you know, having like a regular like afternoon and like looking around. So people tended to buy a lot more of these smaller priced items, which wasn't necessarily the case at my first market. I had a ton of kids like begging their parents to buy something, and their parents would kind of be like, okay, like tell me like what is the cheapest option, like what is small that I could buy for them so that they'll like leave me alone. So that was really interesting, but I was really happy because I love making small items, and so I was finally able to get some of those out of my inventory. But yeah, that was kind of like the general things about the market. I know that I did talk to a couple other people that were next to me, and they were saying that it was very slow for them. So I think, which is the same at the first market that I went to. So I think that means, considering those are the only two I've done, it means I need to do a better job of like picking where I'm, you know, situated. I don't think that this was something wrong with the market or like any of the market organizers at all. Like they were all great. I think it was just like a matter of luck. It was kind of a busy weekend. It's like Fleet Week in SF, and I just think that people were out doing other things. And there are like some people that go there for like every weekend, and they were saying like this weekend is like weirdly empty. So yeah, it is what it is. I still like had a great time. It was really fun talking to all the customers, and yeah. And then, okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about like what did well and what didn't. So I think, as I mentioned, the things I did the best were my lower price items. I think the max, I sold the most of $7 items, and then next was like the $12 items, and then I have a bunch of like 5, 8, similarly, as you can get the hint. The most expensive item that I sold was $25, and last time I sold like a $100 item. So like just to give you like the kind of variance of that. And then for what did well, let's see. So I have these like pocket turtle, like I have a pocket turtle pattern on my Etsy. That did really well. They're very small, cute, perfect thing for those parents like to buy for their kids. So those did really well. I also have a free ghost pattern on my Instagram, and I made 3 white ghosts using that pattern, and those did so well. They I sold out of those. So that was the only item that I sold out of, and I think that was also my best sale. Equal with leggy froggies. So I sold a bunch of leggy froggies as well. Those did really well. The other thing that was really surprising is if you saw in my market prep video, I had a bunch of chickens that I made, and then when I was running out of the yarn, I ended up making a bunch of small chickens. So I made 3 small chickens and then a really, really tiny chicken, and all of those sold. So people really were liking the small chickens, and multiple people were asking me to put them on keychains. So I think I sold all of those as keychains. So that was definitely a tip if you're having your own markets, is like, if you think that you could do it fast, like just having the keychains on hand and like being like, hey, like I can, you know, add on a keychain if any of the items like are calling to you. So I think that was really good. Someone's yelling outside. Okay. Yeah, so that did well. And then I sold the, so I was doing a tester haul and I sold the black version of this, and yeah, these got a lot of attention, so I'm definitely gonna make more for my next market. Cool. And then I sold 2 of the chickens in the regular size, so those did pretty well. And then I sold a bunch of other little keychains, so octo keychains, the octos from my pattern on Etsy as well. Super quick, super fast to make. They come out really tiny if you use the baby velvet yarn, and they're pretty small in the chenille as well. Was really popular this time. I sold out of the bees that I had. I didn't have many though. Oh, and then I sold, I think this is probably my most exciting sale, but I was literally closing up, like fully packed, and then someone came running by and they're like, oh my gosh, like, can I look through? And they picked out the purple and white sea turtle, and that was actually the first plushie that I ever made. Like, you know, with this type of yarn, like I've obviously like crocheted before, but I made like tops, things like that. This was like my first like plushie, and it's actually like the inspiration for my logo, which I'll put here. But yeah, it's sold. It's been with me forever, like almost a year now, because that's been how long I've been making plushies for. For the leggy froggies, I had you know, a bunch of small ones, and then I made one of them in the jumbo yarn just to have like a really big one as more of like a attraction, and that jumbo sold as well, so that was another fun sale. Yeah, so generally I would say, like, in terms of number of sales in comparison to my first market, it was almost the exact same, but last time I did sell more like bigger ticket items, so that was definitely interesting. And I have another market coming up this weekend, so I'm really excited to see how it'll compare, and I think this weekend I'll be able to give you like more stats and things like that. I just like didn't really keep track of things this time. But yeah, the one this weekend though is only for 4 hours though, so I'm guessing it's going to be about 50% of the number of sales, just because there's like way less time for people to like buy things. Yeah, I'd love to answer any other questions that people have about the market or my setup or anything like that. I think I could do a whole video on like the things that I purchased for the markets. I think I have a very clear, like, easy setup now. Like, this was so much easier than the first market I did. It was a bit smaller because I didn't have the 2 table setup, and I didn't have the tent, but other than that, mainly the same. I have like about 2 bins and usually like a bag of plushies, and then I have another bin that's just for like the stands and like the keychain stand and like all the kind of essential like setup stuff. Cool, so that's it for this market vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Would love to answer any questions if you have any. And there's probably gonna be another market vlog very soon, since I do have another market this coming weekend. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Would love to have some more people join me on my crochet journey.